right, hi everyone. This is Duwan. No, not the LoL player. I'm his older brother. I'm just a tournament organizer and avid Valorant player. But I've been with Aegis Esports since 2021, and I'm very excited to start our new iteration of ACL for spring 2025. Heck yeah! Joining me today is one of our casters, Gordo.
Hey everybody, I'm Gordo. I'm one of the regular casters on ACL. I'm also a host over at the Salt Mine, which is renewing our partnership with ACL once again this split. So we'll be covering ACL every week, and we'll have streams over on the Salt Mine Twitch channel as well as on the Aegis Esports GG channel. So looking forward to the season.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Gordo. So before we get into the draw show, everyone, I'm going to briefly explain the this splits format. So this splits format, we did a significant change up based on feedback. Last split, we did just a simple single round robin with 9 teams. We found that a lot of lopsided matches would happen, and as soon as teams realized that they were mathematically eliminated, they would just forfeit the rest of the matches, which would it's not really in great taste, and it doesn't really give the full experience of what you would expect from a tournament. So we decided to shake it up completely. We have 32 teams for ACL, which is honestly fantastic. Thank you all for signing up. And how we're going to start is that the regular season is going to begin with 8 GSL style groups. So it will be 4 teams in each of these groups. We are going to have a group draw show to place all 32 teams into their respective GSL groups. So if you see on the group draw tab under our official sheet, if you go to our into our Twitch chat, you'll see it in the pinned message, the link there. That is our group draw, and every team has been seeded so far into tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s, and tier 4s. So we're going to be drawing each of those teams today. Now, as you guys imagine with GSL, it is essentially a 4-team double elimination bracket. Now, no one is eliminated in this GSL phase. What's going to be happening is that your positioning from GSL here is going to determine where you're going to be starting on the next stage, which is Swiss. So one team will be 2-0 and you'll be placed into Swiss A. One team will be 2-1, you'll be placed into Swiss B. One team will be 1-2 and be placed into Swiss C, and then one team will be 0-2 and be placed into Swiss D. So the 2-0s and 0-2s, they're obviously going to finish the GSL first. So they're going to go straight into the Swiss on week 3. You're going to have your Swiss matchups be happening during that time on week 3, right? Once the remaining 2 teams finish their GSL matches, they're going to slot into the Swiss on week 4. So you'll see here properly labeled A, B, and C, and D. From then on, it just becomes Swiss. So in the combination from Swiss and GSL, all you need to do is just get 4 match wins, and you qualify for our playoffs. If you get 4 losses, you are eliminated. Now, for Swiss, the matchups, how they are going to be determined is that I will take the ranks that was determined from the group draw. So you'll see in the sheet, every single team is seeded from, well, is ranked, I wouldn't say seed, I usually say for playoffs, is ranked from 1 through 32. So in this ordering, I'm going to have it so that way the matchups are always having the top ranked teams pit against the lower ranked teams within your Swiss pool. If I see a repeat matchup, I'm going to avoid it and have the top ranked team play the next ranked team instead. So repeat matchups will never ever happen in Swiss. That also includes from your GSL matches too. So the only time a repeat matchup is going to happen is within your GSL. Cool. I guess some very brief additions because that's pretty much it. The top seeds for week 5. So there's going to be 2 top seeds. In this case, the 2 4-0 teams. Those guys are going to have an extra match on week 5 to determine the overall seed 1 and seed 2. And then 6.1, that's all. The next seeds 3 to 6, are also going to have matches against each other to determine seeding. Quick note too for week 6, that's going to be Friday and Monday. So if you win your match on Friday, you don't have to worry about Monday. If you lose your match on that week 6 Friday, you unfortunately do have to worry about the Monday match, because that's essentially the very last day of Swiss. I have no idea what any of this means. I'm new here. As some people will normally say, just win your matches. All right, cool. Any questions? All right. So playoffs is going to be a 16-team double elimination bracket. If you get sent to the lower bracket, you're going to have to start playing on Mondays. Otherwise, if you stay in the upper bracket, you'll continue playing on Fridays. So keep that in mind as the ACL is ongoing. You may have to free up your Mondays pretty far in advance. So just keep that in mind as you are playing these matches. All right, that is the format. If you guys have any further questions about the format, I will be looking at the chat. You guys are also free to ask me in the Discord server as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into the group draw show.
Woo! All right, we got the spinners again, Benja. Oh boy.
Oh Lord.
Oh wait. We had stuff we wanted to announce at the top, right?
Oh, that's true.
Let's go. All right. Sorry, we're gonna bait you for a couple more things, but these are fun things, not housekeeping things.
Yep. Real quick. So just with the format that I described, we are going to have a pick'ems. It is exactly like how you would expect from the world's group stage pick'ems. So the deadline for that is, yes, I'm sorry, in 2 days, because we are starting GSL in 2 days. So I will have that information out as soon as possible when the groups are done. And then the switch stage deadline is going to be right when week 4 begins. So that's the deadline for that. Both of these forms will be out at the same time, so you guys can take your time, especially on the switch stage, to fill out your pick'ems. And at the end, I see who gets first place, and they'll get a $25 RP prize. In order to be eligible for this, you need to join our Discord server, and then you also need to follow our Twitch channel. Awesome.
All right. No questions. Everyone gets it. And one other.
And for the ACL MVP award, so we are sponsored by Zed Market for this split. So if you are the finals MVP, you will get these awards. So it's actually pretty cool. Project Ash, Pokemon Kuji set. You get a Game Boy Color. Oh, that's actually quite an antique. And then Apothecary Diaries, which I think is a manga series.
Yes, I believe players can play the pick'ems.
Yep, anyone can play the pick'ems. Anyone. As long as you join our Discord server and follow our Twitch channel. All right, excellent. So without further ado, now let's start the group draw show.
Now the group draw. So we're going to start with Tier 1 teams, right, Duan?
Yep.
So in the Tier 1 group, we have DIH Esports, DIA Esports. I don't know if that's meant to be pronounced or not. Citadel, Dorado Gaming, Galaxy Gaming, UCI Esports, Tempest Gaming, JLH, Next Level Esports, and Flippers.
Into group number 1. The
All
Flippers.
Right. Kicking things off with Flippers. So this is Wenwin and Aj are carrying over the name of their most recent OQ attempt, which none of the players like, as they stated in their little sheet that they filled out for us, as they're joined by a new bot lane duo of Omibro and Inflame, who are most recently on Cupid and Grandview last ACL, and then they're debuting new top laner Skarlinger. So excited to see where this team can go with Coach Taki joining up as well.
All right, let's see. The next is tier 1 team in the second group.
Skarlinger is Arbrio. Oh. All right, good to know. Good to know. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's our content creator team.
All right. I'm going to say Dia. Dia sounded better than DIH. Dia Esports, come on in. Welcome to the streamer era of the ACL, as well as the rest of LoL Esports. So Sanchovi's done and Hamza, fresh off the NLC, are joined up with Armeo and Breakout OQ support Redemption. So really excited for this team, even if these guys are going to steal a ton of viewers from the broadcast every time we have them on. Definitely a lot of deep OQ runs on this squad, and very excited to see how they'll be able to do.
All right, third group. And it will be, Citadel.
All right, early favorites for the whole ACL here in Citadel. Bradley and Instinct are running it back with a new but similarly stacked squad. Diamond and Kenvi are joining up after sitting out the last open qualifier, and Porsche rounds out the roster, joining some of his St. Thomas teammates in Kenvi and Bradley.
All right, slotting into our fourth group for tier 1. What do we got next? All right, good old Dorado.
Wait, did somebody rebrand a Dorado? I don't have a Dorado.
Yeah, so Spellbinders.
Spellbinders is Dorado.
It's Dorado now.
Cool.
Yep, they just got recently acquired.
Well, this is what I get. I updated this morning. I guess that was too soon. All right, so that's a collection of players who clearly wanted to start and hadn't found a spot yet, coming together a little bit later in the season. I want to highlight Grandview jungler Castle, Northwood mid laner Reppy, and Nukes, who was on that Nanos News team that just barely missed playoffs after going 5-3 last ACL. Censored is returning from a little pseudo-retirement of coaching and subbing, while this new AD carry, whose name is in Mandarin, is coming in. I'm told this is the Oakland University AD carry Bully You, but I cannot confirm that.
All right, let's get in. We got 4 teams down, more teams to go. Who's going to be on our 5th group?
Right.
All right.
Level Esports. Oh. Next Level Esports going for a rebuild around long-time top laner Fiji and the coach from OQ's Sagittarius. The Sagewabe Al-Calamity bot lane is returning from their time on Gravity in the open qualifiers. It's one of the most exciting up-and-coming duos in the space, while Toothbooth and jungler Kitsuo, who I must point out brings us to 3 former LCS junglers in this league. So also always really excited to have Kitsuo coming and joining us to beef up those numbers.
All right, let's do group 6. That's kind of. I do agree that a alphabetical instead of numbers for groups is probably better. So we'll do that next split.
We should we should still name them all Runeterra places. I'm sure we can come up with 8.
Actually, yeah, we could.
Yeah,
we could do that next time.
We should give them all fun names. All right, Galaxy Gaming. So, Galaxy Gaming returned 4 players from their OQ run in Cozy, Ariandel, and Noribi, and Kim Down, but now adding jungler Krakodon, who has put together some real strong showings in recent splits on teams like Gravity and Gentle Hearts.
All right, 2 teams left for the first tier. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Irvine people or Tempest Gaming JLH? It will be Irvine.
UCI. All right, I think these are our only previous ACL champions as an org that are rejoining us. So New Airport's greatest rivals looking to try to earn a second ACL title by swapping Strumpus up the top, promoting Xiao Danny up to starting mid, and bringing in Rosethorn in the jungle to complement their established bot lane of Gorka and Cerulean. Shout as well to Coach Joey joining up with the team this year, and of course, manager Burrito.
All right, last but not least, we got Quest's team, JLH.
Go. We're not going to spin it? We're not going to spin it as a formality?
Oh, man.
Tempest Gaming, JLH, Draxer, Snow 2, and G-Sung all joining back together after having made several runs at ACL as a group before, this time with Draxer in mid. They're joined by Limo on his first ACL team since Team Ambition We Hate Limo Gaming, and Riot Bait and Switch Target Season of Leaves. We've been told that JLH stands for Joseph Levitate Hong, by the way. So shout out to him and his... I think his ACL series is over, but he did play one today.
All right. Awesome. So that's your tier 1 teams placed into the groups. Let's get into who the tier 1 teams are going to be playing against in their first match. So let's slot up the tier 4 teams.
Yeah, getting into tier 4. So this also has our five play-in teams in Desperado Esports, Damocles, Tempest Gaming, Bikini Bottom Warriors, Ember Foxes, and High Alert, joining CB A5 Wagyu, Gravity, and Supernova Dark Matter.
All right, first team up against the Flippers. Solid Ember Foxes.
Ember Foxes. So Linzu, who's recently coached a ton of really good ACL teams, and who I promise I am not intentionally critiquing every time he's up in this league, joining up with 5 rookies, all making their tier 3 debut, as we've been told. So excited to see how this team can do in their kind of first go at it here in competitive tier 3.
All right, next tier 4 team that will be playing against DIH Esports. And it's going to be High Alert.
All right. Tom's, Bombzilla, Seer, and Slick, I know, all played together over at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. They added Durakos at Jungle for their open qualifier run, and he stays with them for their ACL split.
All right. Up against Citadel, it will be... CBA5 Wagyu.
Love this
what a name.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's Shocky returning to ACL after a year away, along with former GFT NLT mid laner Insanes. Joyboy also coming in off of last fall's K9 roster. They were both joined by newcomers Minju and Aliens.
All right, next tier 4 team that will be playing against Dorado. Ooh, Gravity or Supernova?
Oh, it's close. It's close.
Wait,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right. Supernova Dark Matter, Doubtful, Klexo, and Winking off of Purdue Northwest to join up with Muzi from last summer's P&W's roster in OQs. They are joined by Tapablo coming out of retirement. That's a name I've not said in a long time, but happy to have him back joining up with the P&W's crew.
Excellent. All right. Playing against Next Level Esports. We got 4 tier 4 teams remaining. Who will be against Next Level Esports? Ah, yes. Good old Bikini Bottom Warriors.
All right. Another OQ squad just jumping right in with mostly the same roster. It's ShamWow, Oracles, Instant, and Only, all representing Michigan State. And they're rounded out by Drew Dozer, joining up with them
University of Michigan.
This time at support.
Wait, I think a couple of players are also from University of Michigan as well.
Yeah, isn't that didn't I say that?
You said Michigan State.
Oh, I may have
2 completely different schools.
I mixed up my Michigans.
Bro, how could you How could you How could you mistaken us for little bro?
I know, not with this audience, dude. I'm sorry.
No, man, you can't say that to a Wolverine alumni.
Dude, I wrote 32 of these last night. Okay, I'm doing my best here. I may mix up some schools that are in the same state.
Oh dear. All right, we got. I will.
Great logo
handle.
for this team, by the way. I got it. Unless it's AI generated, but if it's made by hand, this is a sick one.
I will handle Gordo privately. 3 teams remaining. Who will be up against Galaxy Gaming? And it will be Gravite.
All right, Proctor, former Grandview University top. Tarim, former University Georgia jungler. 80 carry, I believe, is Noodles, who played for UT Austin and Houston. And Mock is the San Jose State support. Finally, rookie Kami, who I see has been LFT this year, so very excited to have him come and debut in ACL alongside all these CLAW veterans.
That's extremely fitting. A Galaxy versus Gravity.
Oh boy, that's going to be so confusing, man.
All right, 2 teams remaining. Who's going to be up against UCI?
2 more play-in teams as well. We've ran down all the teams who were brought right in.
Desperado.
All right, so this is Loose Cannon from Desperado's OQ team and Cripsis from the Montreal team over in the East Conference. These, along with 3 new faces, they definitely have some team spirit here, changing all their names to have the prefix. But other than that, not super familiar with Flo or Seonster or the rest of the team here.
And last but not least, oh no way. Is it a civil war already? Okay, it is.
It is. All right, Tempest, a former ACL finalist, Dreddo, joining up with APR sub DDoS, Krusty Cruz Bioster, and new solo laners Bone and Sim.
All right, starting off with a civil war. I love it.
Excited. Already, third group 3 is already group of death, by the way.
All right, there. This is your 1v4 matchups for the first match. If you guys need to figure out reschedule, go at it. We're now going to do the tier 2 teams, starting with the first group. So who will join Flippers and Ember Foxes in this group?
So this is tier 2, right, Duan?
Yes, this is tier 2 team. Right. So if you want to go through each of the teams real quick.
Yeah, so we got Zero Animosity, Conviction Star, Apex Predators, Uncles, Prosperity Esports, Calamity Esports, Foxtrot, and Novosphere Gaming Myth.
Excellent.
Going in group 1.
With Flippers and Ember Foxes. Oh my god.
Okay.
The wheel, it's like...
oh, no. Like now I'm walking on eggshells here, and I'm worried about my notes. I think this is Michigan State? Corin, Aquanic, Institutional, and Smalls? Correct me if I'm wrong. We also have Ember/Mace making his return to the ACL in the top lane. Oh boy, I hope I got the right Michigan this time.
I guess we'll find out from Chad if anyone will verify that.
Yeah.
Animal Group 1. All right, next tier 2 team that will join DIH and High Alert.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. It's going to be Novosphere.
All right. Novosphere Gaming Myths, Slam Boy and Ollie839 from last year's Novosphere team regroup with OQ competitors Magmore and newcomers Tommy and Rokid.
Excellent. All right. Now that that's figured out, who's going to be in the supposed group of death with a Citadel and a CB-A5 Wagyu?
Yeah, this is a dangerous one already. Oh boy.
Ooh.
This is the highest seeded team in tier 2, by the way.
Is it really? Oh my god. Holy crap.
All right, Zero Animosity. I'll run back with OQs, this time with actually no animosity as he goes over to join Novosphere Gaming in Tier 3. We got a lot of great details from the coach in their info form, saying they're practicing 5 to 6 days per week and are looking to really level up and win it all this ACL and upcoming OQ.
That's dedication. Right. Fourth group, that's going to go with Dorado and Supernova. Ooh, Conviction Star.
All right. Very excited on this one to see Nightstar and Pika Pika join together in the bottom lane. They're joined up with longtime veteran Lawrence in top lane, St. Clair jungler Maddie, and Doxa returning to mid after having sat out that last open qualifier.
All right, excellent.
Oh boy, a lot of names that don't match their actual tags in that one. So yeah, those are that's Lawrence up top and Pika Pika at support.
You did your best. All right. We got 4 teams left in the tier 2. Let's see who's going to be with Next Level Esports and Bikini Bottom Warriors. It's going to be, is it the Uncles? No, it's going to be the Apex Predators.
All right. Well, AMI may have made NACL, but the org sends another squad over to ACL in Apex Predators. This being the Fantastic Five lineup from Open Qualifiers with the addition of Psycho in the bot lane. But Geiger, Colthrow, Meslo, and Barlow all having played together previously, coming back to under the Apex banner.
That's a cute logo, I'm not going to lie.
It's a good one.
Yeah. All right, who's going to join the Teams of Space? Will it be another space team? We're about to find out. Is there any space
what
teams?
Would be the most confusing.
Okay. Unless you think Uncles are like, you know, has the
No, this is
the personality of outer space, then
yeah, this is doable for sure. This is gonna we won't mix these up with the other two. So Paracon, GFP, and Meyerson haul off Titan Esports last open qualifier are joined by Debonair moving up the top lane and OQ finalist like a Moz. I am told that with this top lane start, Debonair will have played all 5 roles in ACL and become the Avatar.
Dang. Okay. Jack of all trades, isn't he? Sweet. 2 teams left. Who's going to join UCI and Desperado?
Looking like Prosperity.
It looks like it is. Almost in the dead center middle.
There we go. All right. So Prosperity describes this roster as a full rebuild, keeping only Kongji from their original lineup. He's joined by Solidified and Titan off of Titan Esports, joining up with the rest of that team who represent Uncles. Also got the role swapped coach / player, Zatsmod / Menace / Julian, a man of many names, and former Ole Miss starter Icelandic.
All right, and then that leaves our last tier 2 team, Calamity Esports.
We are out of Tempest teams to put in this group, but yeah, it will be Calamity. After making several references to going 0-16 in ACL previously, Calamity back their squad from the open qualifiers. Since last ACL, they've added Halls at jungle and Pentius at support. The rest of the crew running it right back.
All right. So that's your tier 2 teams that are going to be placed into the groups. Let's find out who their opponents are going to be. Show us the tier 3 teams.
All right, so we got Legacy Esports, Deathmark Esports, Mint Gaming, Weber State, Novosphere Gaming, the Chain Vests, Pookie Bears, and Cal Golden Bears.
All right, let's get one of the Bears in Group 1. Let's see it.
Yeah, one of the Pookie Bears in Group 1 would be the perfect. Golden Bears would be 2, but
no! It ruined our animal group.
Yeah, we rolled back both. So this is Legacy Esports. This is not the defunct OCE team, by the way. But they are former NACL top laner and Tier 3 legend Dragoon, joined by 3 members of the Illinois State squad, plus their longtime coach, Command Attack in mid lane. Fodicon will be swapping down to support here as well, which will be an interesting one to check out. Also been told Dragoon and Command Attack play second, teamed up together all the way back in UPL 2020 spring. So looking to make a return to glory in Tier 3 uncapped events. This squad.
All right, is the wheel going to speak? Is it going to be another civil war in the coming up? What's it going to be? Far from it. All right.
Oh, Pookie Bears or Golden Bears? Pookie Bears. Right. Fresh off a deep run in OQ's top laner, X-Royal is joined by Che, who's making his return to ACL after having most recently supported NACL star Sajed in both Lit Esports and Keep Pathing Bot. They are joined by some less familiar faces with Sean in mid and Chinese characters in the jungle. And former
Aegis.
Morningstar White AD carry is now known as Kita, at least in solo queue. But that is from Morningstar White.
The jungler means goodbye.
Yes, I did see that. I still don't know. Goodbye is not a name that means anything to me either. If anyone knows who this is, feel free to let me know.
All right.
But otherwise, welcome to the league.
Which tier 3 team is going to join the group of death? Good old Novasphere.
All right. Novasphere's second team here is now looking to improve on their prior ACL finishes with a brand new roster. This is largely 5 seasons reunion with Animosity, CK Reborn, Priscilla, and former sub Keanu all returning. Honest Abe rounds out the roster as the designated shot caller. And I'm going to be honest, this is a tough tier 3 team. They really complement the group of death. This is a hard group. Oh, it's Zhaijan Jungle. Okay. I knew it was Bot. I did not recognize Zhaijan. So thank you, Quest. It's not 5 seasons without me.
If I actually said
4 seasons.
If I actually said the Chinese thing, you would have recognized him.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it's IGN.
Oh, then yes, I would. If you'd said Zhaijan, I would have recognized him.
All right. 4th group. Who's going to be up against Conviction Star? Looks like it will be Deathmark Esport.
Deathmark Esports. So this is a full Quebecois team. Former St. Clair mid laner Zephyrock gathers up with former teammates BB and Gabex, along with relative newcomers to ACL, Karshiak and Doc Duna.
All right. 4 teams remaining for our tier 3s. Who's going to be up against Apex Predators? We're about to find out.
Gonna chain test. This is one of the top logos for.
Yep, love it. Best customized logo.
Yeah, absolutely. This is way better than the AI generated ones. Take notes. Altil, Neverstory, and Ken join from Carleton, where Sprinkler and O'Kyler join from Ottawa, and what's going to be a merger between 2 Canadian CLOL teams on the chain vests.
Excellent. All right. 6th group joining our group of space. Who's going to be against the uncles? All right, got one of our CLOL teams, Weber State University.
Weber State. All right, so after a top 32 run last CLOL and a playoffs run last ACL, Weber State returns, moving Sendy to support and bringing in Gloomgrove at AD carry. I'm looking for Goku and U13, though, to remain standout as a mid-jungle duo. Been really impressed with what this team's been able to put together for us over the last couple of splits under Crazy Legs at coach.
All right, 2 teams left. Who's going to go against Prosperity Esports in Group 7?
Wait, it's Animosity versus Zero Animosity in round 1?
It is.
That's awesome. I can't believe I missed that.
All right, Mint Gaming.
Mint
up against
Gaming.
Prosperity.
Right. Yeah, Ginkle and Ariana from GVU team up with former ADL champion teammates PVS and Theatrics, formerly A Bit Bad. Shout out, as always, to PVS. We wish you the best, but also need you back on prod. So we'll see how this team does.
So what you're telling me is get him eliminated ASAP?
Yeah, it depends. Just structure your game schedule and your win-loss record with when we need you on broadcast. We got 2 streams, man. Don't give me the crying face. All right, one more team.
One more team. Last but not least, Berkeley.
UC Berkeley. This squad joined us after finishing 3rd in West Conference this split. I'm not too familiar with the players individually, but been told Fights has previously had Mastery 7 on every champ before the Mastery reset. And heard very good things about mid-jungle from some of my more CLOL adept colleagues.
All right, awesome. That's all 32 teams drawn. Gordo, what are your thoughts?
Oh my God, is group
Aside from the
so
group of
hard.
death.
Group 3 is so hard, dude. I can't believe it. We kind of got the full animal group for group 1. I think that'll be an interesting group as well. There's a lot of names that we may not be quite as familiar with. The Michigan State. Still think it's Michigan State. Nobody told me I was wrong. Or over on Foxtrot, facing off up against some of the Seawall veterans there on the Legacy Esports team will be an interesting matchup. And then, Linzhu's coaching these new rookies to the Tier 3 space over in Ember. So that first group, I think, could be very, very interesting as well. Got to look out for the Tempest versus Tempest showdown over in Group 8. And I think Group 5, another one, too, that just stands out to me with having some upset potential. I think Bikini Bottom Warriors with adding Drew Dozer at support could have a little firepower up against this new next level esports team. And then like the Chain Vests just as a logo, and they're facing off up against Apex Predators. So two of my favorite logos in a game up against each other in Group 5.
So for Foxtrot, I think the only person in that roster from MSU is Aquanick.
Really?
Yes. So I don't know about the other 4 players. Institutional
and Smalls, I could have sworn I found stuff on, but what can I do?
We'll find out when the Leaguepedia page, when we get our Leaguepedia page.
Hang on.
Speaking of which,
I'm going to the wiki. I gotta back myself up here, but
we should have our. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we should have our ACL Leaguepedia page up soon. I reached out to the Leaguepedia person for that.
Oh, yeah. You know what I did? I see what I did wrong. I was looking at the Ocean's Echo lineup from OQs where they ran with Smalls and Institutional as well.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what I was paying more attention to.
Gotcha. All right, that's our groups. So matches will be this Friday at 8 p.m. ET. So we will see you all in 2 days for this extremely exciting ACL. I do think this is probably one of the most balanced ACLs I have seen in quite a while, especially with the 32 teams that we got. So I look forward to seeing how this will all turn out, especially with our new format. So with that said, thank you very much, Gordo. Everyone, please give a golf clap to Benjamin, our producer. Benjamin, I don't know if you want to say anything, but thank you so much for hosting this. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, do let us know. Please make sure that you get your team roles. And we'll see you all at 8 p.m.
Yep, we'll announce what the stream games will be soon. And yeah, see everybody on Friday.